All right, recording for the press pool. Kelly, you never had a chance to win HOH. Was it difficult not to get a letter from home or some comfort items the entire game you were in the game?
10 weeks with no letter and no pictures was the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. And yes, I needed that letter. I needed those pictures. It was really, really hard to play without having confirmation that my family still loves me.
Kelly, you told Julie your goal was to be, quote, annoying on purpose. Was there a moment in the house where that strategy totally worked or totally backfired? And what's the one scene you keep replaying in your head now that you're out?
Annoying on purpose. Yes. Outside of here, I am a very regular person and I'm always itching to instigate, and I took full opportunity to instigate inside the house. My only regret is not playing more chaotically, and I loved being annoying on purpose. My favorite annoyance or fight that I started had to be the Keanu Jimmy feud, and to this day, nobody knows that I started that. So that one worked out well in my favor. One that backfired was definitely the Winegate incident, where I simply narrated that Rachel had two glasses of wine, and that sent us into a tizzy. I did love starting fights though.
As viewers, we know your speech walking out of the BB house only scratched the surface of how Vince let you down as a final two. If you could have warned the house guests of anything else about him, what would you have said?
That speech definitely only scratched the surface, and there's so much more to say about Vince than I can say in one question. There's a lot more that we could be said about Vince.
You were the queen of earning safety for yourself. Do you think constantly having your back against the wall affected your ability to play the game?
Absolutely. Having my back against the wall the entire time for sure impacted the way that I played the game. When you're on the block, it's really, really hard to make connections and to form alliances. And we called it the block plague. It's when you enter a room as someone on the block and the room clears. Everyone leaves the room. It wasn't just a me thing, okay? Everybody else experienced this also. It was really, really hard because nobody wanted to be around you because you were on the block. They didn't want to be associated with you. They didn't want to take the time to get to know you. And that's how Keanu and I got so close, was because we both had block plague and nobody else really understood it. So yeah, it affected my ability to play the game a lot.
What do you plan on telling the jury about Vince's most recent head of household?
I plan to tell the jury that Morgan really won head of household for this week, and it was nice of her to let Vince make some decisions.
Will you hold a grudge against those you feel betrayed by when, sorry, will you hold a grudge against those you feel betrayed by when it comes to your jury vote?
Though I hope Vince follows me into the jury house today, I do not hold a grudge, and I will be a unbiased juror.
Your final words going out the door were epic. You laid it all out and exposed Vince's game to everyone. Do you regret not saying that sooner, or was saving it for the end always part of your strategy?
That was the nuclear speech option, and I've had that locked and loaded for a very long time. If he had ever voted me out, I was going to say that. If he put me on the block again, I was going to say that. That was always going to be my exiting speech. I've had that planned for over a month now.
How much of an impact do you think revealing Vince's alliances will have on his fame?
Well, there's no such thing as bad press, right?
Looking back at your game, What's one move you're really proud of, and what's one decision you wish you could take back?
I'm really proud of the entire game that I played, instigating and all. And, starting the fights and planting the seeds was part of my strategy, and those were moves. And most of the time, they worked. So that's what I'm most proud of. The thing I regret most would be not being friends with Rachel. And also on my way out, I really wish I had told them all that they needed to change their toothbrushes and then hidden the toothbrushes.